one of the questions is how many baby turtles have been released in the creek? Spencer actually released Kiki and Squirt, our two baby painter turtles, into the creek. And as the in-house biologist, he says they'll do just fine. They will burrow into the dirt that's in there. And we're looking at the swamp grass that's growing in there, so they have lots of opportunities in there to dig. And Lucky, being way over 400 pounds, has just climbed up the tree and got the treats off of it. So if you ever think that a bear his size can't climb, only grizzly bears don't do that, but a hungry grizzly bear will climb too. The turtle, the smaller turtles, their metabolism will slow down to the density and coolness of the water, and they will go into hibernation as well. Another question, Ted appears to be shedding in clumps and sheets. Yes, he does, and it is just like honey. If he needs some help, I will probably brush him out, but he's doing pretty good. We've found lots of clumps of fur on the trees that are around and the raspberry bushes that are located in his den. So he's losing fur quite well, and his new coat is coming in right behind it. The other bears, no, they don't do that. They don't get matted at all. They shed very little, and usually the tougher fur that you see that looks kind of like a mane on Holly and Tasha, that's the only part that doesn't really shed. Lucky sheds very quickly and doesn't usually look very bad at all when he's shedding. The girls and Lucky usually shed at the end of June. Another question, is there a difference in the enclosure of the clover that is planted? Yes, there's white clover over here on the right and red clover where Lucky is standing right now. So they do like the white clover much better. It's a little bit more delectable to their system, and they do eat it more rapidly than they do the red. Does Holly go inside the cabin and sleep? Or where does she sleep? Well, generally she probably sleeps. I know that she's digging under the cabin right now, but she does sleep in the cabin, usually for naps during the day. And when she's exhausted, she goes in there to sleep. Could I tell you the jamberry story? Well, it's very time-consuming, and I'd rather write it down, so I might write that in a little note for Bear News next week and include the picture that goes with it, because without the picture, the story doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, is Tasha digging? Tasha, I believe, is finished with her den. She has a little bit of wood in it, but no leaves yet. The leaves are just starting to fall. So once that happens a little bit more, she will be collecting leaves and adding those to her den. But she is napping right now and more relaxed, and she is in fall transition. Again, our hours will change tomorrow from 10 to 4. So if you'd like to come visit us tomorrow, come at 10 o'clock. And we will, again, be closing at 4 o'clock. The Wolf Center, located just on the other side of town, is open also, and they educate about wolves as we do about bears, so it's a great place to visit both places, and you get $1 off over there, as well as they give you $1 off to come over here. Our next broadcast, we will only have one. We'll be at 12:30 tomorrow. So don't tune in at 4:30 because we will not be doing one. We will actually be on our way home. So thank you all today for tuning in. And keep the questions coming. I know there was a couple of questions I didn't answer, but this time I cannot answer them. So we'll be back with you tomorrow at 12:30. Thank you all for tuning in.